This is one of America's most baffling unsolved disappearances, and the truth is closer than anyone suspects. The town of Silverpine, Colorado, was small and quiet, the type of place where everyone knew each other's routines. But on the morning of October 14, 2016, the calm was shattered. At 6:32 a.m., a jogger discovered something unusual along the Riverside Trail. A lone red hoodie, lying in the dew-soaked grass. Beside it, a small backpack was torn open, contents scattered. And most chilling of all, there were footprints leading toward the dense forest, but they stopped abruptly, as if the person had vanished into thin air. Detective Mara West arrived within minutes, her mind racing. She had handled missing person cases before, but the scene here felt different. The air was heavy, almost charged, like the forest itself was hiding something. Inside the backpack, she found a cell phone, powered off, and a journal filled with meticulous handwriting. Page after page chronicled ordinary life, then suddenly ended with an entry that chilled her to the bone. "They are watching. I feel it in the shadows." The red hoodie was soaked, the backpack disturbed, but there was no sign of a struggle. Witnesses reported seeing a shadowy figure at the edge of the forest the night before. Someone tall, moving silently, watching the trail, but no one could identify the figure, and there were no traces beyond the footprints. Mara knew immediately this was no ordinary disappearance. Something deliberate was happening. Someone wanted this person gone, or at least, someone wanted to send a message. Back at the station, forensic teams analyzed the footprints. Small, precise, almost too careful. The kind of movements that suggested experience, not panic. Whoever was involved, they were prepared. By nightfall, the investigation had expanded to include local law enforcement, search dogs, and aerial drones. The forest was thick, the terrain rough. Every team reported an eerie stillness, no birds, no wind, only the crunch of boots on leaves. As Mara stared at the trail maps, one thought kept replaying in her mind. This isn't random. This is planned. And they're still out there. With the town buzzing with rumors and fear mounting, Mara's determination hardened. She had to find the missing person before the trail went cold. Every clue pointed toward the forest, toward the shadows, and toward a secret that someone desperately wanted to hide. But she didn't yet know how deep the darkness ran or how personal this mystery would become. The disappearance of Emily Parker, the girl in the red hoodie, quickly became the most talked about case in Silverpine. The town had never experienced anything like it. Parents kept children close. Joggers avoided the Riverside Trail, and every shadow seemed suspicious. Detective Mara West dug deeper into Emily's life. A 17-year-old honor student, quiet, polite, known for volunteering at the local animal shelter. She had no enemies. Yet, someone had gone to great lengths to make her vanish. Mara interviewed Emily's friends and family. Nothing seemed unusual. No threats, no arguments, no mysterious phone calls, except one message on Emily's phone, sent the night before her disappearance. "Meet me at the old mill. Don't tell anyone." The old mill was abandoned decades ago, a skeletal structure on the outskirts of the forest. Locals said it was haunted, avoided even during the day. Mara wondered who had invited Emily there and why. That night, search teams combed the forest again. Flashlights cut through dense trees, their beams catching on spiderwebs, leaves, and shadows. Every rustle of wind sounded like footsteps. Mara had the sensation they were being watched. Forensic experts analyzed the footprints near the hoodie. The spacing was consistent with a tall, strong person, careful and deliberate. No signs of struggle, no scuffle, just calculated movement. It suggested Emily might have been lured, not forced. The investigation revealed an unsettling pattern. Silverpine had experienced other disappearances over the past decade, mostly teenagers wandering near the forest. They were never solved, and most cases had been quietly filed away. Mara felt a chilling connection. Was there a predator operating undetected for years? Meanwhile, strange clues began surfacing. A local hiker reported seeing a figure wearing dark clothes moving through the forest at midnight. Another resident found a small notebook under a bridge, pages filled with cryptic symbols and maps of the forest. A name was written repeatedly: Turner. Detective West checked local records. Elias Turner, a former resident, now reclusive, had a history of harassment charges and minor criminal offenses. Nothing violent, officially. But Mara couldn't shake the feeling that Turner, or someone connected to him, was more dangerous than the records suggested. The town's anxiety grew. Flyers, news articles, and social media posts spread Emily's story far beyond Silverpine. Public pressure on the police increased. Mara organized teams to search the old mill and surrounding areas. They found remnants of a fire, broken boards and footprints, but no Emily. Yet one discovery sent a shiver down Mara's spine. A small piece of red fabric snagged on a rusty nail inside the mill. It matched Emily's hoodie. She was close. Someone had deliberately touched a hoodie and left it behind. A message, a warning, or a taunt. As night fell again over Silverpine, Mara realized something terrifying. Whoever had taken Emily knew the forest better than anyone, had planned every step, and was likely still watching. And now, the hunt was no longer just about finding Emily, it was about uncovering a predator hiding in plain sight. The shadows of the past were emerging, and the deeper Mara dug, the closer she got to a truth that someone was desperate to keep hidden. Detective Mara West couldn't shake the feeling that time was running out. The clues pointed toward Elias Turner, the reclusive man whose name had appeared in the cryptic notebook. But she needed evidence before confronting him. Early the next morning, Mara returned to the forest with a small team. The red fabric from the old mill had been sent to the lab, but she knew waiting for results could cost precious hours. Every step through the undergrowth felt like stepping into a trap. Twigs snapped underfoot, leaves rustled, yet no one was in sight. Then, near a clearing, one of the officers spotted it. A makeshift campsite recently abandoned. A partially burnt fire, footprints leading deeper into the woods, and another notebook, pages filled with meticulous sketches of the forest and multiple locations marked with X's. At the center of one page, a small circle labeled Emily. Mara's pulse quickened. Whoever was behind this had been tracking Emily for days, maybe weeks, and had prepared escape routes, hiding spots, everything. They followed the trail for miles, through tangled underbrush and up steep inclines, until it led to a small, derelict cabin near the forest's edge. Mara's team surrounded it, weapons drawn. The door was unlocked. Silence inside, except for the faint sound of dripping water. Then Mara noticed a shadow move in the corner. She signaled the team. Slowly, a man emerged. Elias Turner. Detective West, he said, calm but unnerving. I was wondering when you'd find me. Inside the cabin, Mara scanned the walls. Newspaper clippings, maps, and photographs. Missing persons, cold cases, disappearances. And there, pinned in the center, was a photo of Emily, her red hoodie clearly visible. Strings and pins connected her image to other victims, creating a sinister timeline. Turner smiled faintly. You're too late. She's gone further than you think. Mara's heart raced. His confidence, his calm demeanor, only proved one thing. He had done this before. And if Emily was in his control, every second counted. Suddenly, the officer guarding the entrance radioed in. Movement near the north edge of the forest. Turner stiffened but said nothing. Mara knew instinctively this was her chance. She followed him as he moved, careful not to alert him to her team's positions. In the dense trees, Turner led them on a careful path. But Mara noticed something. The footprints he left were uneven, almost deliberately misleading. He wanted them to chase, but not catch him. Hours passed. Darkness crept over the forest, and then a faint scream. Mara froze. She recognized it immediately. Emily. Alive. Her team and she ran toward the sound. Boots pounding against wet leaves, flashlights cutting through the shadows. The trail ended at a collapsed section of the old storm shelter. The door slightly ajar. Inside, huddled in the corner, was Emily, shaking, terrified, but alive. The sense of relief hit Mara all at once. The predator had been tracking, but the hunt was finally over. Turner, however, was gone, somewhere in the forest. Mara knew the confrontation wasn't over. It was only a matter of time before he tried again. Detective Mara West stood at the edge of the storm shelter, catching her breath. Emily Carter was finally safe, but the feeling of relief was brief. Elias Turner had vanished into the forest, leaving behind only clues and unanswered questions. Mara knew he was clever, meticulous, and dangerous. The case wasn't over. Inside the shelter, Emily whispered about Turner's movements, how he had been watching her for weeks, leaving cryptic notes and forcing her to move between hidden spots in the forest. Mara felt a chill run down her spine. Turner wasn't just a kidnapper. He was a predator who planned everything like a chess game. Back at the cabin, the investigation intensified. Mara's team documented everything: Turner's maps, journals, photographs of other victims, and a series of encoded messages. Each piece painted a terrifying picture of men obsessed, patient, and methodical. Forensic teams analyzed Turner's handwriting and the red hoodie fragments. The connections were undeniable. Every disappearance over the past decade had Turner's mark. The police realized with horror that he had been hiding in plain sight all these years, manipulating small towns, creating fear, and vanishing without a trace. Mara decided to go deeper into the forest herself. She traced the paths Turner had likely taken, studying his patterns. Hours passed, dusk fell, and shadows stretched across the trees. Then she noticed a small, camouflaged clearing. Hidden under leaves was a stash of personal items: backpacks, journals, and other clothing pieces. Among them, she found a journal with a final note. "She's close now. So close. But they'll never find her." The words were old, but the handwriting matched the latest note left at Riverside Bridge. Turner had been testing them, leaving breadcrumbs, challenging the investigators. Mara realized that Turner wasn't finished. His obsession with control and fear wasn't over, even if Emily had survived. Despite the threats, Mara knew they had won a crucial victory. Emily was safe. The predator's trail was exposed. The chilling timeline of crimes could now be shared publicly, alerting communities and preventing future disappearances. Weeks later, Elias Turner remained at large, but the evidence collected: photographs, journals, notes, footprints allowed law enforcement to create a psychological profile, predict his movements, and tighten the search. The town of Silverpine began to heal, cautiously. As the story of Emily Carter's survival spread across news outlets nationwide, Mara West reflected on the case. She understood the grim reality of her work. Predators like Turner exist in shadows, but human resilience, determination, and vigilance can fight back. Every clue, every note, every footstep mattered. As the sun rose over Silverpine, Mara looked out at the forest, the red hoodie still vivid in her mind. She knew the darkness wasn't gone, but justice, patience, and courage had given a young girl her life back. And as the camera pans out, Mara West quietly reminds the audience: stay vigilant, stay aware, and never underestimate the hidden truths lurking in plain sight. Subscribe to Hidden Truths for more chilling unsolved cases and true crime mysteries.